you asked me, and I'd love to hear Ben's take on this, but if you asked me, like, what's the primary purpose of our relationship with Union Biblica, for me, it's to strive toward. So I'm about a week out of being back from a pretty extensive trip to Peru. I was there for, a little over 2 weeks, and that's kind of a long time for me. I really don't like to be away from my family and very rarely go for maybe more than a week. So this is a longer trip, and I have even a longer one scheduled for next year. And this trip had multiple components to it. We were in the province of Ancash, in an area called Yungay, in a community that we worked in for many, many years, where we took a volunteer agronomist, a really wonderful man by the name of Josh Minchow, and one of HBI board members, Mr. Stephen Manning. And we did a couple of activities that were kind of a departure from our normal work with the orphanages that we've been a part of now for a number of years that are run by the Peruvian organization Union Biblica. We were actually there because our goal is to move away from this whole notion that our work has to be about just disease containment, decreasing the amount of anemia, increasing the access to really good ongoing dental services, restorative as well as preventive dental services, assuring that the children are meeting adequate growth and development milestones. I think now we've finally figured out that it can be more. It can be about wellness, and it can be about sourcing a wellness and holistic attitude within the boys. So we took an agronomist and we put in, a little over 50 fruit trees in a garden. And we got some kids, and they worked with us, and you can see some of the video footage here. And we did kind of a outdoor adventure fitness training program. We worked with a couple of mountain guides from the town of Huaraz. And we sort of worked on this notion of, can local guides and a local climbing club adopt, right, in quotation marks, really just sort of take under their wing some of the boys who show interest in mountaineering. So we had the guides come and talk to them about mountaineering and showing equipment. We did some bouldering, and it was phenomenal. The boys were so extraordinarily excited. Two of the boys really, I can't express enough how much they just sort of absorbed the garden and really took it on as their own. And we went out and bought special shovels and made some ribbons and christened them the custodians of the garden, the keepers of the garden, and did it in a little ceremony in front of the other boys. And it was powerful. They loved it. And it's all in their hands now. Yeah, we're going to give them some direction. And, Josh is a master agronomist. He laid a firm plan that they can go back to. But the nourishing of the garden, the really cultivation of the fruit of their labor, sorry, the pun was there. It was a low-hanging pun, is theirs. And it was incredible. And I guess that was my major lesson from this trip. A staff member basically said to me, like, okay, so when are you going to work yourself out of a job? And what she was saying, and it was just powerful, was, why do you always keep coming down here? What about, like, local people doing stuff? And what about empowering the next generation of local people to take on the work? And I was really taken aback by it. Not because I was, like, offended or somehow thought it was an affront to her position to tell me, the executive director. Not at all. It was just sort of like, oh my gosh, you're so right. This work is about working ourselves out of a job. We're trying to build bridges, and they have to be effective bridges. And that is only possible with in-country involvement and support and leadership along the way. So I've really been thinking a lot about, how do I work myself out of a job? How does international health stop being about us getting on planes? Maybe we keep getting on planes, but not about going and facilitating projects. going and supporting the projects that are already in place, going and being consultants or colleagues in arms with professionals on the ground who have the knowledge and the skills and the acumen to be doing all of this on their own. Their lack is in resource. So can we get them the resource, work with them, alongside them, to really build their programs the way they envision them, and then leave them? Come back when they need us to, only on an invitation basis, not sort of continuing to come back in and bringing our elbows and sort of puffing out our chests and saying, hey, we're here. But, oh, you want me to? Oh, yeah, I'd be glad to come back down. I've been thinking about you, and I want to support your work. That's a big part of who we are, and something I'm going to be thinking about a lot, front and center, over this next year and in the days to come. HBI is doing some crazy good stuff. I'm so proud of us. We just got a new website. You can check out the link here. It's really a well-built, well-laid-out website. But our work, it's not about a website. It's not about some projects. It's about building bridges to people. People are sustainable. Projects aren't. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to focus on that, and we're going to drive that. Dr. Bob Geringer, who's our medical director right now, is just about tomorrow. He gets in Denver, and he'll be presenting at the American Public Health Association conference, which is a great honor for us. We're presenting a poster on our neonatal resuscitation program and the collaboration that we have with the Peruvian College of Midwives, which is about training in-country trainers to take on the task, the opportunity to assure that every neonatal provider in the country has the skills and the knowledge necessary to resuscitate an infant if it's born without breath. And they're going to do it, and we're just helping to set the table. Thanks for your support. We are forever humbled by the number of people who believe in what we do. More to come.
Amigo, perfecto.
Yeah. We'll spin.
No way. Did you get 1,000? Oh. Staff retreat for HBI. We're at basically a community that is about 3 hours outside of Lima if you head east. So it's above the clouds in the winter and sunny. And playing a game of Sapo between our conversations.